It's now day 2 of trying to make this game, and I'm going to continue on grabbing the boxes and making some sort of light system that works. And I'm going to fix the bug from yesterday where the squares, the boxes, the cubes were kind of like changing shapes. I thought it was very weird, but I think I found a solution. So here is the solution. Okay, so the problem from yesterday was that these cubes here, when you picked them up, they were like doing some weird shape stuff. And I found out why. It's very, very simple, and it's 100% my fault. You cannot put cubes as a child of another object if they have different scales. So those are 0.1, and the table is 1 and 1 and 0.55. So that's kind of what fucks it up, because those are like kind of belonging together. So when I pick it up and throw it around, stuff happens that's not supposed to happen. So I cannot have my cubes inside of the tables. So I'm just gonna grab those and drag them out of here. The same with this one. And no, not there, here. And I'm just gonna rename them to something else so I won't get as confused. Those I won't get confused with, but this one I might, so I'm gonna call it light off. Sure, that's this one, by the way. When you grab it, the light turns off. And now, because they are not a child of something else, it should work. So let's go ahead and test it. Before we test anything though, I am going to make another one of these fancy cubes, but I'm gonna make one that turns a light on instead. So to make space for that, I'm just quickly gonna move this to the side, and this as well, so they are out here. Great. Okay, the goal is that we now can change the script that we already have to turn this light off and make it so that when you are inside of Unity, you can here go down to the script, took a light on, grab. We want to be able to select what happens in here, so we can toggle it on as if it's supposed to turn the light off or on. So we can just reuse the same script for every single thing, so I don't have to make a new script, you know? But I don't know if that's possible. Okay, so after this I basically just went online and read a ton of articles to find out how to do this, and I found an option that makes me able to have multiple light sources in the public script and make them able to turn either on or off. So that's great. I didn't know that was possible, but this is also like the first serious project that I'm doing, so I guess it kind of makes sense. But it's actually very, very simple and well, not nearly as hard as I thought. Okay, I just saved the code. I hope you enjoyed that time lapse, and Unity is not showing me any crashes yet, so that's great. Let's just take a look at this and see if it's there. There's a drop-down menu called lights, and the list is empty. Then we add one, and I can drag the light source in there, which is somewhere here. Oh, there it is. And then turn on when grabbed. No, we want it to be turned off when grabbed. Okay. Let's see if this works. I'll just save it quickly. And now we can test. Okay. So, works so far. Let's see if the cubes actually work. The cubes do in fact work. They do not look weird anymore, and they actually track the hands quite well now, which is great, so everything works. Now let's see if this light turns off. It does. Okay, so now we should be able to add another one that turns the light on. Hopefully. Okay, so right now we are getting ready to make some more lights and some more boxes to test a bunch of different stuff. This whole table right here is just a table to test different boxes and what they can do, what will happen when we pick stuff up, because we want to be able to make a lot of different stuff happen when we just pick objects up. Where we've already made one that turns some light off, we also want to make one that turns lights on. That's what we're trying to make right now. And later on we also want to make a third one that makes a light flicker randomly, and maybe also a fourth one that will like control multiple different lights at the same time, or maybe even not only lights but music. Or sound in general, because that's also going to be very important later on in the game, that when you pick something up, maybe a creepy sound will play or something like that. We are also organizing a lot of stuff out in the side, just so it's like easier to look at and find the stuff that I'm looking for. That is what I have to say for now, so well, enjoy. Okay, what you will notice that I've done now is that I've made 4 different cubes, and they all do something different. The first one we of course know, that's the one that turns the light off. The second cube right here turns the light on, and the one after that will make the light flicker. I have not made the code for that yet, but we are just about to. And then this last one over here will do something different to all of these lights. Make one off and make one on, and then make one off again, or maybe it's the other direction. I don't remember the order, but something like that, just to show that it could do different stuff. Now let's test it. Okay, so here we are. We can go over here and look at the lights. Hopefully everything works. Yeah, that works for this one for sure, and this one turns that one on. This one doesn't do anything there because we did not make the flicker option, so this one does not do anything. And this one should... Yes, exactly. So turn that one off, and that one off, and that one on. I'm thinking that when we've made the flicker option, we will make the top one flicker. Just to really show that we can do all of these different cool things. Also, I want to keep Steve in the game. He can never leave me. I love you, Steve. You are amazing. Come here. Okay, yeah, I need to fix this. Maybe next episode we should work on hand gestures, because this is scuffed. Damn. Okay, now let's make a roof. First, I want to apologize for the absolute booty cheeks camera angle, but right now we are trying to make a roof so that it will give the room a better vibe. It will make it more dark, so that we can really see how much the lights they shine. We're also trying to make them a bit more dim, so it really gives off that perfect kind of spooky vibe. We are also again organizing stuff out in the side, so it's easier to find stuff. And well, now we've started to make the script for the flickering, and this is something that I didn't just do. I actually spent like 2 hours reading stuff online on Reddit and a bunch of other websites on how to do this. I figured out that it was pretty simple and we could make it like random, really easy, but I've never tried this before, so I didn't know. I did copy a bit of code from, I think it was Stack Overflow or something like that, but in general, it was just a bit easier than I thought it would have been. So yeah, I'm pretty sure I'll test it out in like a second. Okay, I just made the actual flickering. So the grab interactable light flicker. This is the one where we want a light to actual flicker. So we need to put the light in that I assigned, light flicker, into here. Okay, so turn on when grabbed. No, we actually just want to flicker. I don't know if I need to turn this on or off then, but I don't think it cares. Because, well, it's just gonna flicker anyways. So enable flicker. Then there's the flicker duration in seconds. And if you put it to 0, it will just flicker infinitely. But I can also put some time in and make it flicker for only a set amount of time. So I think we're actually going to make 2 lamps here. Make one that flickers infinitely and one that doesn't. You know? Or no, we're just going to make the one that flickers infinitely, and then we know that we have choice. Okay, so this controls how fast it will go. There's the minimum amount of time and the maximum amount of time in between the flickers. This is to make it feel a bit more random. So it's not just, you know, a constant flicker, but it's more like, you know, something random. Because we want it to seem a bit creepy when it lights up a hallway or something like that. This is just, you know, an example room. This whole scene is just for testing. So, yeah. Okay, so there we have it. I think it could get a bit darker in here. I don't know why it's so light, because those do not light more up than just that. So that's a bit weird. But that's something I will figure out at a later point. Right now we just want to see that this works. And this works. And we want to see that this makes it flicker. Yeah. So, I love that we can, in Unity, actually change how fast it will flicker. But this is f***ing amazing. This is some of the most incredible shit I've ever made in this game. In this game, in Unity in general. That's sick. And then this switched them. So that's pretty cool. I love that. I don't think I've ever made anything cooler than this. Oh, I still can't do thumbs up. Okay. The only thing we are missing now is to make one that makes a sound when you pick it up. And I think I'm going to try to add that in the same script, because that just makes everything so much easier. But I don't know. But it's also a bit weird because the script is called Toggle Light. Yeah. Maybe I should make another script for it? No, I don't want to make another script for that. That's a bit weird. Okay, the first thing we're going to do in this montage is make the table a bit bigger, just to make space for the 2 new cubes that we are going to add. The 2 new cubes are one that plays sound directly through the headphones of the headset. So that will be music, for example, or something like that. And the other cube is going to be something that plays a sound from a specific place on the map. It could be that when you pick something up, you will hear footsteps out on the hall or something like that. You know, so that's what we're trying to do. So I thought that the only way to play sound directly through the headphones was to just make a physical speaker and placing it inside of the head of the character. So that's what I'm doing right here, is I'm making a speaker inside the head of the character to make the sound play through the headphones. But it turns out that's not the correct way of doing it. And right here I'm actually placing a box on the table that's going to be the second speaker that plays from a specific place. I also made a material for this so we can tell it apart from the rest, as you are seeing, well, in a second. I'm talking a bit too fast. There it is, now we're trying to make the new material. Oh my god. Okay, well, that was it for this montage. Okay, what I have now done is actually save the whole project, and I've made it so that I can hear when I go into a interactable thing, like this box here. I can go in and make it do sounds. Actually, I'm just gonna remove these light effects here because that's not supposed to be in this box. But I can do sounds with it. So I can add a sound, and then I can put the sound source in here, which I'm pretty sure I can just use these boxes, but not that sure. And then the actual, you know, sound clip, and if I can loop the sound and play on grab. And this is supposed to be my speaker right here. I also have an invisible speaker right here inside of the actual character, so that it will sound like be right in the ears if I want some music to play if I pick something up. That was the best solution I could come up with, and personally I think it's a fine solution. Alright? It's okay, you know? Alright, hopefully this thing can be dragged in here. It cannot be dragged in there. Cool! Well, I will just attach a speaker to it then.
Many minutes later.
Okay, so what I've done now is making this box right here a speaker itself, and you can grab it and it will play sound. And I've also made it so that when you grab this box right here, it will play a sound right in the ears. Okay, let's see if everything works. So, does this still work? It does. Okay, then I don't care. This one is supposed to play a sound through this one object itself. It did play a sound. It did not come from this box though. It was just in general, so at least it kind of works, but not really. And this one should also just play a sound, but right through my ears, but this one already did that, so I don't think those will be different right now, which is kind of annoying. Yeah, so this is great. This is absolutely great. I hope you guys could hear that. But this one... Okay, so I did find a problem. The problem was that it was not set to 3D, it was set to 2D. So that means it would just play. But in 3D, it would actually kind of, you know, get a sense of where the cube is, which is great. So that means I actually did not need to put a speaker right into my head. Yeah, because I could just use 2D.
Hi everyone, I just got done editing it, as you can see, kind of, and discovered that the rest of the video is missing. And it's not only missing, I just didn't record it at all. I didn't record the example of the sound working, and I didn't record an outro. I just didn't record anymore, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do that for you real quick. But before that, let me show you something. We have some more headsets now. If you've been following along on my Instagram, you already knew this, but if you didn't, that's a little spoiler for you for the next video. Okay, but for real though, let's get back to it so you can see what I actually made. Okay, so guys, as you can see, I'm right now wearing the HTC Vive Pro instead of the Oculus Rift CV1 as I usually am, and that's because, as you could hear in my little editor's note, I got some new headsets, and this is currently the headset that's set up to my PC, and I didn't really want to just switch everything around just for the video's sake, especially because this headset is better. It has some minor tracking issues right now, because I am working on it, but yeah, so I didn't want to switch it all around. So right now I'm wearing the Vive Pro. I did want to make this thing a whole review and testing stuff in the next episode, and I think I am still going to do that, but I kind of spoiled it for you now, what works and what doesn't work with the Vive Pro at least, because everything kind of works with this headset. There is going to be more detail in the next video, so don't worry, I'm going to test everything out. Okay, right now I'm just going to see if the sound and everything else works. And then we're going to test the rest in the next video. Oh no! Okay, so this is one of the problems. There we go. Thank you! Okay, so, yeah. Oh, come on. This was the box that was supposed to play a sound from a specific place, and that specific place is this box itself in this case, because I just set the speaker to be this box. So when I pick this up, it should play the sound from this box. So if I pick it up and I take it to my left ear, I'm going to hear it in my left ear. I could also set it to be just a random place on the map, and then I would hear the sound from that space, and that will be useful to hear someone's footsteps or something, I don't know. And this one just plays directly through the earphones. Okay, so let's test this one out first, because that's the most special. It works! It works really good, actually. And that's great. And that was what I fixed by just setting it to 3D instead of 2D, as you just saw a clip of. And then we have this one. Yeah, and you don't have to hold it the whole time. As soon as you grab it, the thing starts playing and it won't stop. So yeah, that works as well. It works really good. It sounds good. And that's well, it. Oh fuck! Okay. Shh. My bad. Sorry. It glitched out. That's one of the problems with this headset. Okay, but let's cut to the outro. Okay guys, that was it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, even though stuff was a bit confusing and I had to jump around, but we got a lot more progress this time than the first time, so I think everything turned out pretty good. In the next video you are going to see me testing the headsets for failures and bugs and everything like that. You already did see a bit of me using the Vive Pro, but you're going to see a lot more in the next video. We are also just going to be fixing bugs in general in the next video. I think that's going to be a pretty short segment because I don't think that's really that interesting. And then we are also going to make something a bit more interesting, because right now we have the boxes for everything. That's basically just what triggers everything to happen. We are also going to make some invisible walls kind of triggers next time, so that when you walk through a specific place, it's going to call one of these functions or multiple of the functions as well. So that's something we're going to be focusing on in the next video as well, and a lot more. I'll also be playing around with the editing style and just the story in general in the next video, so I think you should look forward to it. It's gonna be a blast, and yeah, I guess I don't have anything more to say, so we'll see you in the next one. Remember to follow my social medias. They are on the screen right now. It's not that hard. There will be links in the description for everything. Remember,